Hello and welcome to the Transformers press conference here in Second Life. I'm Maxwell Lyle and I'm going to be your host for this unique and very special event. Today's press conference will bring together journalists, bloggers and fans from all over the globe, putting questions first to director Michael Bay and producer Lorenzo de Bonaventura, and then later to four of the film stars, Shia LaBeouf, Megan Fox, Josh Duhamel and Tyrese Gibson. But before that, just a little piece of housekeeping to let you know how this event's going to work. To ask a question, all you need to do is type your text into the chat box at the bottom of your screen. That's a chat box, not the instant message box. So we'll pick up the questions, but please be patient, don't send them all immediately. First of all, I'm going to ask one quick question and then throw it over to you. So first of all, please join me in giving a warm digital welcome to Michael and Lorenzo. Hi guys, how's it going?
Very good, thank you.
Excellent. Michael, is it true that when Steven Spielberg called you up and said, will you direct this movie, initially you said no?
No.
So
I said it after I hung up the phone.
So why
You don't
no?
say no to Steven to his face too much.
Why?
Why no and then why yes?
Because I thought my first inkling was I've been offered a lot of superhero movies before, and I thought it would be a silly toy movie.
Okay. Well, were either of you familiar with Transformers before?
Of course, I'm familiar with Transformers, but I never really collected them because I was a little older when those toys came out. And but I could safely say that I'm one of the bigger Transformer fans in the world right now.
Okay.
I've thought more about robots than probably anybody on Earth in the past year.
I think you're absolutely right.
And the pair of you went to the Transformers school at Hasbro, that's correct. Can you just tell us a little bit about what that entails, please?
Well, what's so much fun about that is that you have people that have lived with it since its very inception. And so they have a database in a way, an internal database that's better than anything you can. So Michael and I were lucky enough to go to Pawtucket, Rhode Island, which is where Hasbro's headquarters are. And they could give us not only a visual sense of what every toy line looked like and what all the different generations are, but we had a resource of people there. And that was I think, in many ways, I don't know, Michael, if you felt that way, but I felt that was the best thing, is because they were able to communicate their passion.
I was just fascinated with they had an actual professional Hasbro toy folder upper.
Yeah, I know, it was great. You know, a lot of adults can't put them back together, so they had a guy there who come to every meeting with us.
That's his job.
And that was his job, you know, because those of us who couldn't put them back together again, you just hand them over to him.
Oh, if he's happy in his job, who's to say?
He is.
First question from Sneak Kid. This is the pair of you. The Sun today reported that a 2-mile-wide UFO was spotted flying over the English Channel by an airline pilot and his passengers. Do either of you believe we have been visited by ETs?
I have no idea if we've been visited or not. I've never seen any evidence of it. Until I do, I don't think I'm going to believe in it.
I keep an open mind to that stuff. You know, when I did Armageddon, I worked with these people from NASA. I mean, these are just pure-out physicists. They absolutely believe there is life on other planets. They don't know if we've been visited, but they believe that there's life on other planets.
Okay. Do either of you?
I know there's life on other planets, but I'm not going to say that.
Yeah, I believe that.
I don't.
I know
I'm
it.
just kidding.
A question from Maps Boa. What would you say were the hardest scenes you had to film and why in Transformers?
I think the end action scene, because it was so complex. And remember, you're shooting stuff that's not always there, so you have to keep the entire thing in your head.
What's great about watching Michael work, though, is that the ability to do this gigantic scale and yet keep the human story alive. It's really exciting. And so, you know, as somebody just sitting there watching in awe at what he can do, that scene represents a real accomplishment.
So, I mean, I was watching it last night. It was just mind-blown by how fantastic it is, and the effects are the best I've ever seen, CGI effects in a movie. How long did that final Mission City sequence take to film then?
I'd say about 2.5, 3 weeks. That's pretty fast, though.
Okay. A question from
Nobody could do it that fast but him.
A question from Tara Gaia. What can you tell us about the special effects and overall look of the film in comparison to what people know about Transformers?
Well, they're going to see robots that, you know, I got a lot of flack from fans on the net saying that why didn't you just take the cartoon characters and make them full CGI? And I equate it to the Marshmallow Man in Ghostbusters. It would just look, it wouldn't hold up on a big 40-foot screen. So, we reconceived all the robots. We've added new ones. We've kept a lot of the iconic things with Optimus. I mean, it's Optimus Prime. It's just that he looks a little bit different.
And I mean, the effects, the CGI is completely cutting edge. Like 2 years ago, you probably couldn't have.
No, we couldn't have done this 2 years ago. And I always opt for very, very real effects, in terms of making sure the light quality looks real. That's where you can tell when an effect looks like an effect.
Question from Zig Dryson for you, Michael. How do you make the movie work so it's not just kind of big robots fighting each other?
Well, the movie, when you see it, it's three different stories, and it hinges on this small story about a boy buying his first car that just so happens to turn out to be an alien robot. I think that's the heart of the movie, and it's these big stories get kind of woven into it.
Okay. What was your first car and what was yours, Lorenzo? Michael, what was your first car?
My first car, let's see, what was my first
Mine's
car?
a Plymouth Sport Fury, 1966, puke green. We called it the Bay Boat because it was so long.
Mine was a 76 Volvo.
Okay. Which Transformer, this is from SL Joe Bailey, which Transformer do you each have on your desk? And I might as well say, which is your favourite Transformer and why?
I think we all have a lot of them now, don't you, Michael?
Yeah, we've got everyone from Hasbro. But Hasbro, I actually have a Transformer of myself. Hasbro actually made it. They sculpted my head and put it on a Transformer robot. Yes, quite interesting.
And
you know what? We're lucky. We've got a lot of them. So I don't think there's just one. I think in the movie, an unexpected one is Frenzy.
I like Frenzy.
There's a new Bumblebee toy coming out later. I think it's several months later. It's fully detailed like the movie. It's awesome looking.
Okay. There's a question from not Dame Judi Dench. Can you talk about the casting of the human characters and what you were looking for?
Well, I oftentimes we first started with Sam Witwicky, and that was Shia LaBeouf. We looked around from England to Australia to Canada, all over America, and Shia LaBeouf is he's like a young Tom Hanks. He's really accessible. He's funny, witty. I liked him because he had a great improv skill. Megan's new. Rachel Taylor is new. I think they add some. I mean, Megan adds a great,
very fresh quality, and it was a nice balance we put together of really established pros and newcomers. So it gave, I think, an energy to it. I mean, you get these great actors, Michael, cast people in unexpected ways too.
Mm. I mean, you spend a lot of time dealing with the characters before you get to the kind of the robots fighting each other. So that's good. You've compared in some of your interviews, Michael, the Transformers to kind of samurai warriors or ninjas. Can you talk a bit about why you think that will make that comparison?
Well, because I didn't want them to walk like lugheads. I wanted them to move in a very fast, quick way. And so we studied, kung fu movies and, different kind of ninja moves. And that's how we mapped and animated our robots.
Did you do the similar thing to what Ang Lee did with the Hulk? He kind of acted out all the movement of the Hulk.
Well, we didn't per se attach motion capture stuff. We actually videotaped different types of fighters, and we put them into different types of the different moves that the robots are doing.
Okay. I mean, the movie ends with the promise of a sequel, and I for one would like to see a sequel. Have you started thinking about it?
I was just trying to finish the first one.
It's a bit of a superstition also not to do it. I mean, it's gratifying for us that everybody's talking about, come on, make another one already, and we're waiting for the opening. I mean, it's a pretty Herculean task for a director to go through this, and once July 2nd rolls around for us, that's the time to start talking about it.